We are 1 month into HellHades free-to-play 2025 challenge here for Raid Shadow Legends. So let's take a look at our progress in this whole event. We're back. Another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is the free-to-play challenge. These are all of the content creators that are involved in it. There's a lot. It started out, I think there was 60. I think we're down to 55 to 58, something like that. There's a few that have dropped out. I think if you spend money or something happens, then you lose your progress. So I think the last I heard there was 55 creators that were still in it. It is divided into two teams. We have Team Alice and Team Queen of Hearts. Finally he sleeps, I am on Queen of Hearts, and we are dominating as far as points go. Almost 20,000 points ahead. And this is all fantastic, and there's leaderboards, and we'll take a look and see where we're at in here in my account's progress. But before we do that, let's actually take a look at my account and see how much we've accomplished in the first month. We've got a lot of champions in here that we've built. Mostly are rare. Every epic that I think we've pulled for this that wasn't part of a promo code or the initial unlocking has been lackluster. When we started this out, you have your choice of which promo code you're going to do, which champion are you going to start with, and the decision for us was Allure. That last year I struggled in the beginning to find specific champions that we needed for certain areas, and an AoE HP burn champ was the way to go. So I started with Mordecai, and it was a huge advantage in the very beginning. So looking at this, thinking, okay, there were a lot of people that started with Mordecai, HP burn champ. Yeah, but where did we fall behind last year? And the place we fell behind on was Fire Knight. So can we start this with the best possible advantage for Fire Knight? And everybody else was picking, a lot of people were doing the Monkey King. There was a lot, it was there were only a few choices. And right out of the gate, I didn't hear anybody say Allure. And I thought I would rather try something different. So this year we started with Allure, and she's still at 50, haven't done much to her. She's set up with the kit that is basically there to get us through the Fire Knight challenges. But in the very beginning, this time around, the focus was on the missions. I let the challenges go and really focused on the missions because I wanted to claim Arbiter as fast as possible and wanted to get as many of the potion challenges out of the way while they were all still unlocked. We held shards as long as we could until there was an advantage to unleash them. But if you've been paying attention to my live streams, every shard that we have pulled for this account has been absolute crap. The best champions that we've got, that we've pulled from shards, are probably Seer, which we really haven't utilized that much. Seer is going to be there towards the mid and end of this, month 2, month 3, I think, as far as traveling through Doom Tower and waves to get our times down. Seer's going to be a big advantage there. And we pulled the rare Cold Heart from our voids. Hands down, those are probably the two best champions that we've pulled. We also were able to claim Sabbatha as part of the first fusion that was there when this whole thing started. And we've pulled a few more champs that I think are going to find their way into some teams as we start to build stuff. We have a Bellower that we could use for campaign farming if we ever get around to building them. Miscreated Monster was pulled over the weekend, as with all the shards. We had Champ Chase. We went through everything. So Miscreated Monster, once we get him leveled to at least 50, maybe 60, he's going to really be an advantage there in the team. And we have the last champion that we're taking to 60 is Rudnor Goldgleam, which I think is going to be one of our damage dealers for Clan Boss. So as far as this goes, we haven't pulled any legendaries. We haven't pulled any really decrease attack champions. We have a few decreased defense champions, but we don't have any big crowd control champions. I'm still waiting on somebody like a Stag Knight. I would love to have a Royal Guard. A Geomancer. As far as epics would go, any of those would be huge. But a legendary that would really bump the team forward and give us an advantage in places that we're missing would be just huge. And there are so many content creators, if you're watching, that have pulled just amazing champions, and it is so frustrating when we pull all of our shards and the best thing we get is like a second tier epic. And it just was the same way last year. We had no shard luck at all for 3 months in this entire event, but that doesn't hold us back, because we have focused on areas of the game that even with the teams that we have, we've been able to shine on. Champion development, we're way behind because that was not our focus. Again, I said missions were what we were focusing on. Great Hall development, we've kind of let that slide as well. Faction wars. I did this last year, focused on faction wars early, and just to get past all of the bosses, the first round 7 bosses in all. So as the advanced quests unlocked, we could complete those every day to get the daily energy, which was the most important. So we've been building champs. Once we unlocked, was it Fire Knight, where we can start to farm shield sets, even crap shield sets, just to get those shield sets to throw in faction wars. That's been a big advantage. So we got a lot of points out of faction wars, and it's unlocked a lot of stuff in there that we've been able to use across the board. Haven't really spent much time refreshing Classic Arena, so we're not seeing much there. Same way with Tag Team. I've kind of let Arena go. And like I said, we haven't pulled anybody decent. The best the best arena champ as far as speed goes, that is our speed lead at 40. That is our speed lead just because of her aura in our arena team. We don't have anybody fast. And like I said, we started with a lure, not the Monkey King, which is where we would have had an advantage at Classic Arena rather than an advantage on where Fire Knight, where we chose it. Now, was that a good decision to start with a lure over somebody like Monkey King? Time will tell. But right now, it's been a struggle to kind of get our way there. We're still not through all of Nightmare yet. We've been slowly kind of coming back into that. But again, we don't have a big damage dealer to be able to kind of work our way through all of those. Alice is our best damage dealer right now because we haven't pulled any other top DPSs. Doom Tower, we are, I think where we're at in Doom Tower, we're not that high. I think we're at like floor 80, maybe. I can't remember. Demon Lord, we've done well. Not as far as I would like to, but again, we haven't pulled any major champions that we can use for Demon Lord other than the Dwarf that we haven't taken yet to 60. So we'll watch that. We're on the board with HYDRA, which is great, using the team that we have. And I can tell you that took forever to be able to manual that just to get on the leaderboard before the end of the first month. Chimera, same way, manualed it to be able to ring in at number 2 for Chimera. Holy hell, especially with the champions that we have on normal. That is massive. Dungeon Dragon, I think we're right off the leaderboard there. Ice Golem, we're at 7. Fire Knight at 8. Spider, we're off. We don't have any AoE HP burn because we chose Allure, so we're missing there. We haven't pulled anybody. Minotaur, 10th. And let's see, nothing on Arcane. That, I think we're just out of range. I fought to get on that board right before, but I think I've lost it since the last 3 or 4 hours of the first month. The leaderboard reset at the end of the month. I think I lost position. Same with Magic Keep and Force Keep. Iron Twins, I think we're just off of that board. Same way with Sand Devil. No, we stayed on Sand Devil in 9th. Shogun at 8th. And then the Event Dungeon, 10th. So despite having no major champions pulled other than Seer, who's not in any of our saved teams, and Cold Heart, who is not in any of our saved teams, we've been able to kind of work our way into a lot of this and show some big numbers that we're not seeing out of everything else. If we look at overall, we've dropped to 10th. At the end of it, though, at the end of the first month reset, we were in 9th place. That's where we ended the end of the first month reset. 9th place out of 55 on the leaderboards. We're in 9th place again with no major champion pulled, and I am incredibly excited with the progress that we've done. We are just out of that. I think we're 9 points out of 9th place. We just got bumped out of it. We're 10 points out of 9th place. But then we're just another 30 points away from jumping into 8th. And then that's where the numbers start to go up another 100 points, 120. So we need to kind of take the few advantages that we have in this and run with them. And the advantages that we do have are our progress in Clan Boss, which we're still not into. I think at this point we're right on the cusp of being able to 4-key Nightmare. Let's see, do we have any keys in Nightmare today? Have we not done Nightmare today? No. Let's see, Brutal. We're 2-keying Brutal at 18.94, just barely shy of 2-key for Brutal, and I know we're 1-keying Hard. 2-keying Brutal, it's right there. It depends on how early in the day we get in. I think Force is kind of, that one's a struggle. Void, I think we're right there. I know we've 2-keyed it. We've been there. We're like right there. And then Nightmare, we're putting down, I think as of yesterday, about 9 mil. 9, not quite to 10 mil. And we need that 10 mil barrier to get a 4-key on Nightmare. And I think once we get, because if we look at what we're doing right now, our saved team here is, there's no Dwarf. We're missing Ragnar in there. And once we get Ragnar in there for damage, I think it's going to make a big difference. And that will be, we'll be able to push that in. But 30 days in, and 2-key if we're lucky on Brutal, 3-key every other day, and just shy of a 4-key in Nightmare with no major champs pulled, I'm calling that a win. We have a long way to go, but I think the main thing of this is the tortoise versus the hare. We are attacking this challenge in a different way here on the channel than a lot of the guys are doing, where everybody is just going hardcore on, I need champions to 60. We're pulling shards. We're kind of doing it. And we're going in, kind of sneaking in the underside and just taking points wherever we can get them, because we don't have the ability to kind of throw stuff at some of these major champions until we get lucky finally and pull somebody huge. But 1 month in, completely free to play and sitting at level 52. We're in the last round of missions towards Arbiter. Right now we are 4 of 5 champions in the first round, so we have 60 more to go. But a lot of this is stuff that we're able to complete now. We just have to do it once they unlock. Month 2, definitely want to be able to take on Ultra Nightmare. At that point, we should have, the clan should have Ultra Nightmare unlocked, and we should be able to, I think by the end of month 2, we should be 4-keying Ultra Nightmare. We should definitely be 2-keying Nightmare, and we'll be a long way towards at least 65, 70. We should have Curse City open and everything else, and we'll start to see numbers moving forward once we get above 50. We are probably not going after this first fusion that we have, only because I just don't have the shards saved up to be able to do it. But the 3rd fusion we will definitely get. Now, last year at this time, we did get Armand's. We went after Armand's and did complete him in month, I think it was Armand's. Is that who it was at this time? Whoever it was in the 2nd month of the the event, we did go after the fusion and did complete it. So maybe, I don't know. It's shards. It all comes down to shards. And on the free-to-play account, we've been opening them as fast as we can get them because, damn it, I want somebody decent, and we still haven't gotten it. Make sure you're following along at hellhades.com and check out the free-to-play challenge 2025. Support all of the content creators that are in there, but specifically all of us on the Queen of Hearts team. Check us out. And thanks a lot for hanging out. Appreciate you guys following along. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos.
Finally he sleeps, finally he dreams. In a world of games it seems.